Hi, thank you for coming to this short talk. I'll start the presentation, latest topics about Debian.net. This slide was already published at Rabbit Slideshow, so you can see this presentation later. Let me just start by introducing myself. I'm one of the Debian developers since last year. I'm working for Clear Code. Usually, I'm developing and supporting software as an engineer. There is a culture to respect free software activity, so I could prepare this presentation at work. Here's the short talk agenda. Maybe you don't know Firewall. I'll explain it first. It is appropriate to show last year's presentation to make you know Firewall well. Next, I'll explain the issues what I want to solve and useful use cases by Firewall. Here is a screenshot of Firewall. In short, it's a small web service to find untouched bugs. In the last year's DebConf, I gave you a short talk about Firewall. Firewall is an experiment to make a better bug tracking experience, and the way to achieve such a purpose. In this slide, I've explained the current problems and the idea how to solve it. System internal about Firewall web service. There are many services in Debian project. QA, Tracker, Debian Maintainer Dashboard, and so on. But in point of view of tracking bugs, there is a case that it is hard to do it. This is because these services are aimed to help package maintainer. For example, it is troublesome if you find only untouched bugs or see blocked bugs at a glance. It seems that these issues are not covered well. How to solve this situation? Then, I've started an experimental service to solve these problems. To achieve it, I've used to mash up existing data. Email archive is used to control syncing intervals. UDD metadata is used to track status of bugs. Here's the screenshot of Debian.net. In the left side, most commonly used categories are put on. Recently updated bugs, recent created bugs, release critical bugs, failed to build from source bugs, security bugs, recently updated within 30 days, and within 90 days, newcomer or architecture bugs. In the right side, list of bugs are shown. Here is the latest topics of Firewall. First topic is domain of Firewall. The second one is about sponsorship. The last one is minor improvements. At first, Firewall was not deployed on Debian.net. Since I've become a Debian developer, I've contacted DSA and finally transferred subdomain ownership to me. As a result, I could manage Firewall Debian.net. Next topic is sponsorship. Firewall didn't have sponsor at first. It was deployed on very small VPS instance on web arena, so there was the issue of limited server resources. It causes out of memory frequently. Sometimes it must be restarted. But I could get sponsor. It was force host. As you know, there was a concern about continuity before I stopped to use it and got new sponsor, Debian.net team infrastructure. As a result, the issue of server resources are solved completely. It's off topic, but very informative. You can request a hosting sponsorship to Debian.net team on South. The last topic is some more improvements since last year. But it is two modern ones, so I'll show you useful use cases instead. There are 6 use cases to show you. Finding a bug that no one working on. Sending control email easily. Easy to view blocked bugs. Finding a fail to build from source bug. Finding a security bug. Finding an architecture specific bug. First use cases is finding a bug that no one working on. It shows the number of comments for your hands in list of bugs. And fix me tab is applied to filter bugs in the thread. Second use case is sending control email easily. In every bug reports page, it contains mail to buttons to control bugs. If you click these buttons, it launches your email client. In this case, you can send control email for tagging architecture as a bug report. Third use case is easy to view blocked bugs. In contrast to bugs Debian org, it shows blocked by bugs at a glance. If there are plenty of blocked by bugs, this feature is very useful. Fourth use case is finding a failed-to-be reformed source bug. It is a new feature. I've added failed-to-be reformed source category. There are over 200 untouched bugs. Most of these bugs are tagged as serious or important. Fifth use case is finding a security bug. It is also a new feature. I've added security category 2. There are over 300 untouched bugs. Most of these bugs are tagged as important or normal. Last use case is finding architecture-specific bug. It is also a new feature. I added architecture category 2. Architecture tag was formalized recently. At most, 70 bugs are registered now. As a summary, Firewall had been deployed as Debian.net and sponsored by Debian.net team infrastructure. Firewall is continuously updated this last year, and I implemented what I want to do in the future. And that's it. Thank you. Could you speak slowly when you ask, please?
Thank you very much for that talk. We have a few questions on the other pad right now. Okay, let's start with this. How often are new bugs imported? Kentaro, are you there? Looks like we have some connection issues, but Kentaro has answered in the other part itself. Okay, let me read it out. Yes, it is hosted on Salsa, licensed under LGPL, but it's not ready to collaborate with others yet. It has no documentation. So you have to set up your own instance, which is not realistic. He says he will improve the current situation, but the priority is not so high. Okay, and so, oh, sorry, that was that was the answer for is the source code accessible. So how often new bugs are imported? Okay, there are some kind of tasks to import new bugs. So they are imported every 15 minutes. Bug email report is imported. Every day archived bugs are imported. So that means that archived bugs will be hidden. Importing metadata from UDD mirror is done every 3 hours based on the effector release.
I think Kentaro is unmuted.
Oh, all right, Kentaro. Kentaro, is there? Can you hear us, Kentaro?
Yes, I can hear. can
Oh,
hear.
okay, cool. Sorry, Kentaro. So, shall I read out the question for you? How often new bugs are imported?
I wrote it's about mostly every 50 minutes email bug report was imported, but it lacks some of metadata. So importing metadata from UDD mirror is done in every 3 hours. So almost new bugs are imported in 3 hours.
Cool, right. And here we had a discussion in the IRC, which might be slightly off topic. So somebody asked, does the report bug support IMTP? And there's somebody said that they talked about this during the Bullseye release party in Stockholm, and that maybe Salsa could be used for reporting bugs, as he thinks reporting bugs over email seems to be a bit too old school, classic, and retro. I mean, so basically meaning that the barrier may be too high for the new people to start getting into this. So, what do you think?
It is true for some cases, so I developed Firewall as an alternative way.
Right. So you're right. So it could change after later on. Right. So there's another question. Is it possible to change sort order? For example, I would like to see bugs that weren't being worked for some time instead of newest ones.
Currently, it's not possible, but in the future, I'll implement such a feature.
Okay, so that might happen later on. Okay, so we have yet another question. Do we have foreseeable future of this as a replacement for bugs.debian.org web interface?
I'm not intended to replace Bugs Debian at all. It's just another one. So
Right, it's as an independent, as a supplement to the bugs.debian maybe. Right. So we have yet another off-topic question. So looks like somebody was fascinated by your presentation enough to ask you what kind of presentation tool that you're using. Kentaro, can you hear me? All right, Kentaro has answered. He's using rapidshocker.org. The source is available in the GitHub, and he has shared the link in the other pad as well. So whoever asked that question, you can check that out. So, okay, so our time is almost up. So thank you very much, Kentaro, for giving this talk. So see you around, folks. Bye.